Hey everyone, Melissa Lee here. Welcome back to my channel. Just wanted to touch base with everyone after the July 4th holiday. I hope everybody had a good time. I was able to get out a little bit this weekend and enjoy myself. I posted an in-depth video over on TikTok. I'm trying to grow my channel over there as well, but I really want YouTube to be my main platform. So I wanted to talk a little bit about my journey in covering doubts. And I've been pretty open about my journey for the last, I don't know, about 15 months now, since March of last year when I first started coming out and admitting I was trans and trying to sum up and figure out all those thoughts and feelings that I had going back since I was a little kid. And sometimes it makes me wonder, why did it take till I was my late 50s, pushing 60, to come to the realization that I was transgender? Now, there's a big movement right now going on within the so-called trans community. I'll get into that a little bit later. It's such a big push for kids to admit they're trans when they're young, or trans is cool, or people trans maxing, even though when they're not feeling trans, they're saying they're trans. People trying to usurp the trans identity, I guess, and twisting things into so many different knots. You know what? No wonder I'm confused, and it makes me take a step back. And I have to look deep within myself to figure out, what am I really? I've had many, many days of deep thought, um, doing some therapy to try to understand, look, am I really trans? When I say trans, I mean transgender. I can't say transsexual because I haven't worked on the other processes yet. It's a work in progress. And I'm talking about medical transition, social transitioning, coming out to my family, which is going to happen here soon. I've had some times the last couple of weeks going out with family in my old life mode and being miserable. I just, it didn't feel right. It didn't feel like me. And yet when I go out as Melissa, and I'm happier, I'm more at peace. I think that's one of the few things that really helps drive home to me about being transgender. 25 years ago, when I first started dressing for a couple of years before my self-imposed exile, I, just considered myself a cross-dresser because I didn't know any better. I got so comfortable with dressing and going out that I did not get a sexual thrill out of it. I was comfortable being me. I went to support groups and everyone broke off into support group meetings and they bored me to tears. And I wound up downstairs in the hotel bar. And I had more fun down there than I did, going to trying to talk out my feelings. I didn't care. It just felt so natural to me. And that's one of the things that really hit me when I started coming out and admitting to myself I'm transgender. But even now, I've taken an entire year. I forced myself to not jump the gun too quickly. Yes, that's my kitty, Lucky. I tried not to jump the gun too quickly. I wanted to make sure. And even at this late stage, I've had days where I've had my serious doubts. And I don't know what's best for me. I have literally closed the book on my old life. Yeah, I was married for 17 and a half years. That ended. I sold my house. I moved. I'm currently looking for a new job because I'm still out of work. But there's all this possibility and opportunity ahead of me. I don't have to continue living my old life. It's gone. I still have some changes to make with family, some friends, if I want to continue down that path. And sometimes I ask myself, would it be easier to not transition? Just dress part-time, go out when I want, enjoy myself, and then not go all through the headache and the hassle of medically transitioning, socially transitioning, coming out to family. And I know there's probably many of you who have felt the same way, and you've taken the time to think it through. Now, again, I am the first to admit I've always had gender dysphoria, but it's never been so crippling that I knew I had to transition at an early age. I just didn't understand what was going on inside of me. It's taken a lot of time for me to not only be reflect inwardly, but also do research, talk to other trans girls, go to therapy. My therapists have told me they believe I'm trans. And yet I don't want to trust it. Some people are very quick to jump on the trans bandwagon. That includes therapists too. People trying to push an agenda. I don't care about agendas. I don't care about politics. I don't care about activism. I care about me living the best life I can and trying to help people along the way. So here I am, still trying to kickstart this new life. I need a job. I need to be busy, income, and I need to move forward with the other aspects of my transition. After a lot of thought, I definitely want to start hormone therapy. But trying to find an endocrinologist out here, you would think that North Jersey and Manhattan, there'd be lots of them. Well, there's lots of endocrinologists, but not very many who work with the trans community. Some people say go to Planned Parenthood, and I won't do that at all. I don't trust that. I've heard too many horror stories. Planned Parenthood, I'm sorry, Planned Parenthood is abortion clinics. What the hell do they really know about transitioning other than handing out hormones like they're candy? I want to do it right. I want my blood work done. I have some suspicions on my hormone levels, and I want to clarify them, make sure that I'm not in any danger of blood clots. I had open heart surgery earlier this year. I want to make sure I'm okay. I got to talk to my cardiologist the next time I see him. In a nutshell, it's really taken me a long time and going through so many doubts to really come to the conclusion on how I want to move forward. And I've talked about this a lot. Sometimes I sound like a broken record, I know, but I want to do it right. And even then, I'm still on the fence about exactly what I want to do. And it's also going to be what I can do. No medical insurance right now. I have the hospitals on my case to pay their bills, which being out of work is problematic. So I don't know, other than doing hormone therapy, that's the first step. And that'll get me by for a while. And then afterwards, I can start thinking about what else I want. Sometimes I think about FFS, facial feminization surgery. I've had so many people tell me you don't need it. And you're your own worst critic. I can see a couple of room for improvements, but I'm also kind of blessed with some feminine features. So I can see what they're saying, but I'm also getting older too. So I don't know. At the most, I want to get some consultations and get some ideas. And then maybe in a year and a half after being on hormone therapy, maybe I can get some work done on the girls. Beyond that, I have don't know how far I'm willing to go. I know of girls who recently are going through bottom surgery. I haven't even thought that far yet. I don't know if I really want it or need it at this age. I find having my old genitalia to be a pain in the ass sometimes. I won't get into too much details. Let's just say that I always felt like my testosterone levels were very low. So let's just say down there is worthless to me right now. And growing up as a kid, dreaming I was a girl, I dreamed I had girl parts. But I've also heard horror stories about these surgeons who are they're only in it for the money. They don't give a shit about you. They'll botch surgeries, even like the top surgeons in the field. There are horror stories. They botch surgeries. People are left basically mutilated, and then the doctors drop them like a hot potato and won't help them anymore. They move on to the next patient to make more money. It's scary out there. Our whole medical industry is just a joke. So I'm careful. I think I can live my life without that. I don't really have a need for it. I'm taking things a step at a time and I'll see where things go. I still have big hurdles to overcome. And it's been much on my mind lately. Talking to my family, which I've already admitted I'll never tell my mother. She's 87. I'm going to hide it from her. No sense in upsetting her at this stage in her life. She's already had a lot of tragedy she's dealt with. Not that this is a tragedy, but she's not the most open-minded person in the world, let's say. I don't think she would understand it at all. I don't think she'd reject me, but she won't understand it and won't honor it. I know her that well. My brother and his wife, they're like I mentioned before, they're the wild cards because they're extremely right wing and have done nothing but trans bash in my presence the last couple times I visited. But I'm going to come out to them. I'm not going to hide it from them. I'm not going to be able to. Eventually, they're going to find out, especially if I go out to visit. It's kind of getting hard to hide certain things. And if they can't tell, they're really blind. And trust me, my brother found out about me 25 years ago when I was just part-time cross-dressing. And yeah, we had a big falling out over it. Now a lot of time has passed. I don't know how he'll react. If they reject me, well, saves me money and taking trips out there. Maybe one day they'll come around. I don't know. My wife's family, that's still eggshells. I mentioned her parents, I think, will freak the fuck out and drop me like a hot potato, and her sister, well, that remains to be seen. I want to have a conversation though with her soon. If I come out to anybody, she'll be the first one. And then engaging on her reaction, that'll prepare me for the rest of her family and mine. So I don't really have any real friends to come out to. I have one really good friend, and I honestly have no idea how she'll react that I haven't come out to yet. I've come out to some other friends, they totally accept me. Everything is cool. But when you're in this position and it's new, especially when you're older, it's tough. I've made friends and I've talked with recently a lot of trans people who are married with kids and what it's done to their marriages and all the problems they've gone through. I count myself lucky. My wife passed away on me suddenly. And I don't look at that as a good thing. I still grieve. I miss her every day. And yet it's afforded me the opportunity to be able to pursue my own life for a change for the first time in my life. It's opening a lot of doors for me living my own life now. I don't have kids. I don't have to worry about any of that. So I have very few people that I have to worry about. I have my Facebook page, my old page, and there's lots of old friends that I used to know from years ago that I'm friendly with and talk to some occasionally, but you know what? Not enough that I need to talk to any of them and let them know. And I've been just gonna let that page just drift away. Eventually I'll close it. I have my Melissa's page, and anybody that I tell and accept me, I'll accept them over on that page and just move forward, make new friends. I hate that I'm as old as I am, but I still am young enough to know I've got decades ahead of me and I've got to learn how to adjust. This is an adjustment. I sometimes have to break old habits, like living as my male self for so long. I picked up old male habits that I'm still working on. Not that I'm trying to act so flamboyant or overly feminine, but I'm trying to let more of the side of myself that I had suppressed come out and be more dominant. That's where I'm at today. And I know I'm going to continue to think about things and have my doubts roll around my head. I'm waiting for my therapist to call me back so I can have somebody to talk to about this from an outsider, more professional point of view. And one step at a time. And I'm going to continue to look for an endo that'll work with me. I might have to go to my regular doctors, come out to them, which I haven't done yet, and see if they can recommend somebody. That's a scary thought. Of course, the last time my cardiologist examined me, I had to take my shirt off so they could run the EKG on me, and let's just say the girls were getting big by then. I know they had to have noticed. So I chuckle at the thought, though. I mean, it doesn't bother me. It's just I find it amusing. In any case, thank you for listening to me ramble once again. I'm really trying to grow this channel. I'm going to be trying to do some new things with it. I just still have been trying to get settled in my new place, kickstart my life, and try to get out of some of this funk I've been in because being out of work really sucks. I need to keep busy. I have friends saying you should be an influencer, and it's like, God, other than me talking about this stuff, I don't know what else to talk about because I refuse to get too political. I'll talk as long as you all listen, and if anybody has any questions they want me to address, put them in the comments below. Make sure you hit the like button and tell your friends. I would love more subscribers. And I'd like to take this channel somewhere. So let's see. Anyway, you all have a wonderful week. I hope again your holiday was great. I will be back soon. And until then, my usual saying, be good humans. We'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.